Hey y'all, Daniel Aaron here, your guide to vibrant living, and thank you for being interested in me and finding out more about who I am. And what I'm most interested in is who you are and how I can help you to make your life a masterpiece. Now, my story is this is the brief version, pretty ordinary, at least from the beginning. I started out in the United States of America in a lower middle class family, fed the standard American diet. You know the one, it's SAD, SAD. And I mean that on the level of nutrition, and I was a fat boy. My whole family was fat. But I also mean it in terms of the diet of information, conditioning, ideas, what's normal, what's possible. And my incredible grace was that from the earliest age, and I remember this very specific moment, I knew that more is possible. We were near Portland, Maine. I was standing in the front yard of my parents' house. I was just a wee little toddler, and behind me in the house, I could actually hear the yelling. Somebody was yelling at somebody in my family, and I knew that there's a lot of love, and there's also a lot of confusion and pain. That's why I was outside. And across the way, across the street, I could see three of my neighbors' houses. And just in that moment, two of them came home from work. It was the afternoon. And very, normal sort of middle class scene. They got out of their cars. Both were men, and they had suits on and slumped shoulders, carrying the briefcase. Went inside. Nothing extraordinary. Just very ordinary. But what hit me though is like, there's got to be more to life, right? We can't be here on this planet in these bodies for this. There's got to be more. And then I completely forgot that and just dealt with surviving my childhood, if you know what I'm saying. And yeah, I made it through my childhood, and things were okay, and nothing really changed for me though until the year 1995, and I experienced something that you might call an awakening, though when I say it, it sounds a bit pretentious to me. Let's just say this. I was not religious at all. I'm not religious now, spiritual perhaps, but I had no interest in spirituality then. What it felt like is God grabbed me by the hair, pulled me up, and said, "Look, there's more to life than you've been seeing." And the first consequence of this was my whole life was completely screwed up. And I was scared. And then I got depressed. Or, as I was depressed, I went into a retreat mode. And part of what came out of the retreat was, hey, I've seen a possibility of how we can be thriving, of our potential. And then I got obsessed with how to reach it for myself, and very quickly, because I was so obsessed with learning and growing and healing, became something very natural to share with other people. And that was, almost 3 decades ago. And it just continues that way now. There's no end. And I'm so grateful and so blessed to be able to help people, to be able to keep growing myself, to be able to share. And I've had such amazing experiences, from incredible study with modern yoga masters to radical therapies to ashrams to fasting to confrontative therapies where a therapist was yelling at me, to amazing experiences with breath work, with plant medicines, all kinds of things to show me more and more of what's possible, and then to how to apply that in my life. And where I've really learned the most is through people like you. Students and clients, people I've gotten the great blessing to be able to help and work with. And that's what it's all about. That's what I'm here for. One of the greatest things I've ever learned is that the more I help, the more I serve, the better I feel, and the more vibrant becomes the whole world. You will see here a bunch of different ways that we can connect. You can join my membership, our community, the Virtual Sangha. One-on-one coaching is possible, astrology, there's e-courses, live events, and that's my greatest hope, is that we get to meet in person. And until that happens, or if that doesn't even happen, that we get to meet in whatever way, virtually, in real time. It's all a blessing. And speaking of blessings, that's the last thing I'll say for now. Thank you for the blessing of checking this out and for being interested in creating your life to be amazing. See you soon.